Armando Salguero, former worldwide leader and sports colleague of mine, writing from the Miami Herald. Armando, what would you say is the biggest cause of Dolphin concern right now? Would it be Marino or would it be the quarterback?
Hey, Rich.
Hey, Armando.
It's on the new show, bro.
Thank you.
First of all.
Appreciate that.
As far as the biggest concern, I don't know that it's Moreno. They still have the number 6, running team in the NFL, and the reason for that primarily is they've been doing some very good work up front with the offensive line. And number 2, Lamar Miller is averaging 5.2 yards to carry. So he's been the starter the whole year. Now he's going to get a whole lot more carries than he has been or had been the plan before Marino went out.
So what is the issue then with Tannehill? Because, the coach said before going to London that he's going to look at that position just like every other, the 53 man on the roster, and then everybody gave him grief for that. Tannehill lit it up in London like he was a werewolf, and then the next game he went back in a way to not firing on all cylinders. Where do you think the Tannehill situation lies right now, Armando?
Well, it depends on what week we're talking about, and not only what week, but what half of football we're talking about. Ryan Tannehill is an inconsistent quarterback, and no better picture of that than last week against Green Bay. In the first half, he completes 8 of 16 passes. He's got a quarterback rating of 26, and then in the second half, he's every bit as good as Aaron Rodgers and almost beats Aaron Rodgers. So the Dolphins don't know what guy they're getting, not just game to game, but half to half. And that's no way to live if you want to have success in the NFL.
So where do the Dolphins go from here? What type of season is it being expected from you and the media and I guess the rest of the fan base down there?
It's going to get harder, Rich. They traveled to Chicago. They still have to go to New England. They still have to go to Detroit. Buffalo apparently has their number. They've beaten them four times in a row, and now Buffalo has a better quarterback in Kyle Orton. So the assignment doesn't get easier; it gets harder for them. My expectation is the Dolphins are what they've been for a long time. They're a 7-9, 8-8 team. If everything plays out well, they'll be 9-7. If things, don't play out well, they'll be 6-10. That's the way it is down here lately.
Well, if they don't play out well, there's all sorts of rumors, obviously, in San Francisco that Harbaugh's out no matter what. We all know Stephen Ross went for him first before moving in another direction. We also know that Stephen Ross's name is all over the University of Michigan campus. And Harbaugh is somebody that's in his mind's eye. Would that be something that's feasible in your mind?
That would be something that if it's not done, it would be a huge upset. I'm not saying that Stephen Ross will hire Jim Harbaugh if the Dolphin season doesn't go well. I am saying that it would be a huge surprise if Stephen Ross doesn't chase Jim Harbaugh after this season if his season doesn't go well. The reason that there's a difference between chasing and landing is Stephen Ross's record for actually closing the deal on some of his, hires have not been very good with the Dolphins. He tried to hire Jeff Fisher and couldn't. He tried to hire 4 guys, really, before finally landing Dennis Hickey as the general manager. He's not been good getting his first choice, and obviously he tried to hire Jim Harbaugh at one point, and Harbaugh turned him down. So it's going to be interesting if the second go-around will be more successful.
In the short term, they got the Bears on Sunday. Armando, we appreciate your calling in. Thank you.
My pleasure.
You bet. That's Armando Salguero, who covers the Miami Dolphins.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern, on Audience.